you can start carving, you know, whatever personality. I got to click it at 8, which means I suppose it starts booting and gets its stuff done. So it's say 10 seconds or so before it starts at your end. But I should start 10 seconds earlier maybe, but then it might start early. Can't handle that. Okay, something slightly bit different this morning. You don't see the outside camera. We usually start with the outside camera. It's not there this morning. It's out there, it's ready, it's set up, but I have only 2 USB ports on my computer here. Normally the 2 cameras, 1 in each USB port. And today, one of the USB ports is taken up with something else. It's my external hard drive. And for the first, Fly Fish for Fun is saying here, missed the face transfer. I had to do it yesterday because I had to carve. I couldn't just sit here doing nothing, waiting for the next stream. So I did the face transfer yesterday and started carving, and of course, I recorded it. And that's what we're going to do at the beginning of this morning's stream. That's why there's no outside camera. I've got the external drive plugged into that USB port. So before we start carving this, before we move on with more carving, because I did carve yesterday, we'll play back that video of taping this down. So maybe this is a first for our stream, as seen, recorded by live. Okay, here we go. Now the thing is, the way that OSB patches stuff together, I tested this and tried this morning. For the past hour I've been trying this. I thought I would play you back the video and I could watch it with you and commentary and stuff like that. It won't mix the sounds. So I can play it back for you with its own sound, because I did talk while I was doing it yesterday, but it won't play back and mix my own sound from this microphone here. Is it a tongue or is it stubble? I still can't decide myself what that is. I think that's a chin, but I'm open to suggestion. There's teeth on top of it. Anyway, we can talk about that later. What we're going to do now is this. I am going to turn off my microphone here. I'm going to boot the recording from yesterday. And it's 11 minutes and 18 seconds long. And during that time, I can't talk to you. Big deal. I will be able to read and see the chat. And I will be able to hear also the commentary from yesterday. Anyway, let's go. Let's do this. In a first for our Twitch stream, I should have prepared a thing that said recorded, live to record. Here we go. There we are. First step, my own audio has to come off. Okay, I think the recording is up and running. All right, here we are. I couldn't wait for the next stream to do this. I don't have that much free time, so I've had to move ahead with moving ahead on carving on this face. So here's what's going to happen. The rest of the tiger is now carved. We've got the face left. And what I have prepared here, the other day over on my iPad, I enlarged this to 400%. I traced just the face area, erased everything behind it. And we now have a piece of our specialized Gumpy, of course. I don't know if this is peelable. It's the thick kind or the thin kind. I don't remember what I used. Anyway, we have now the face area carefully traced, printed on Gumpy, and it is far, far clearer than the other area around it. The hair here was just so fuzzy. Once I pasted it on the block, I couldn't see what I was doing. I really would have liked to have done this for the whole thing. There just wasn't time. This was actually a couple of days' work to get this part done. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut and run halfway here. I have carved all the tiger but the face. I am now going to take my life in my hands, wash this off here, paste this down, peel it off, and then carve the face. Well, before I wash it off, I'm going to figure out the location to do the pasting. Here's what we've got. When I made this copy yesterday, I made it on the same master that we have used all year long. We use this same master, we use the same copy machine in the 7-Eleven. We do everything on identical machines at identical scaling to keep it all the same size all year long. And that corner is my registration marker. So let's do this. Let's cut this now to fit in the registration marks, which are already, of course, they're already on the wood. So let's do this. And that line is my registration, and I split the line. That's our rule here. Me and Sean are following the same rule this year. Inside the line, outside the line. We split the line here. Half of the black line is there, and half of it's left. It's too short. What have I got here? Just a second. Do I have another? Oh yeah, just a minute. Okay, it's a bit big, but here we go. We've split the line. Okay, in theory now, this is exactly the same registration as the original one. But actually, we could be different. Today's a bright, sunny day. Maybe I did it on a rainy day when I first put it down. I don't remember. So this could still be a little bit different. So here's what we're going to do. Before erasing that, I'm going to put this in the corner. I'm going to tape it along one edge. It's not our green tape. Now, this is left over from one of last week's unboxing, 2 weeks ago's unboxing. Green tape has morphed into clear tape, and now there's the new white tape. I had never seen this before. Anyway, there, it's in the registration marks. It should be in the right place. Let's try it out. I'm not sure if I can do this where I can see it and you can see it at the same time. Vertical alignment is fine. Vertical alignment that way is fine. Let's find some lines. I think we are looking good. I don't know if it's going to show from where you are, but I can see this. It's looking like we are exactly. The leaves line up, the little scratches line up, the black marks line up. I think we have good alignment here. I think we're good to go. So without mucking around with anything more, the tape will do. It's in the registration marks on the tape. Fold that gently back out of the way. And now before we have too much variation involved, let's wash this off. Goodbye face. The die is cast. It's a junk piece of paper. It's reminding us of the cleaning day. This is Asaksadok Dori. This is our cleaning day. Next one, oh, it's the past one, the 6th of July. We do our cleaning on the first Tuesday in every month. Oh, it's the thicker gumpy, but I don't think we're going to try and attempt to peel. There's just too much variation here. We have hit it exactly. We have hit it. We have hit it. It could not be better. The tiny little hairs that are already carved in the overlapped area, they are exactly on the hanchta. The ear shape is right there. The bamboo is lining up. I left some areas there. We have hit it exactly. Except I didn't quite get enough glue there. Add more glue. We have hit it. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's really thick, gumpy. We are good to go. Clean, sharp. Can I get a good focus with the camera? Man, I wish the whole thing had been like this. It would have been so easy to do. Okay, there we have it. Partly refreshed hanchta, a partial paste down. A bit troublesome, but it's really, really going to be worth it in the end. Sorry we couldn't do this live, but thanks for watching. Okay, I'll be back live. Good, good, good. Let me demount the hard drive and we'll put the outside camera back up. Thanks for the patience with that, guys. Gang, whatever. Hang on one second. Hard drive out. Twitch could not be ejected because OBS is using it. Quit that application. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take out the hard drive. Ouch, don't do that. Prove that it's live, Dave. What do you want me to do? This morning's newspaper? Hang on a sec here. There we are. We are back up and running. There's outside. Shoe on head. I don't have shoes. I can't do that. Okay. Let's tell you what. You want proof of life? How about tomorrow's newspaper? Let's just do this. Who cares? I can't see where I am here. Tomorrow's newspaper. You want to see the stock prices? How about the sports scores? Anybody better? You can tell by my hair this was recorded 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago. Lottery numbers, right? They're in there actually. Hey, I had fun. That was good fun. Thanks very much. But you know, I really did. I had to get carving on this thing. I had no choice. I got a good bunch of work done on it yesterday. So now let me do a bit more carving. There's no other special news or drama today. The only other news was, so I got a tracking information. We'll drop it in here again for those that didn't see it earlier. We have tracking on a package coming to us from America. I looked up the address, actually. It's funny, we'll talk about this later. I looked up the address of where it's coming from. It's interesting. We'll talk about it later. Okay, let me get located here. I've been fooling around too much. We're going to carve right here. That should be good. Okay, let's go. Someone's asking about sumo. I don't follow sumo. I'm sorry. I have no news for you. I have no inside tracks. I don't know. There's stuff in my life that I can pay attention to, and there's stuff that just has to fly by. I understand there was a tournament. It just finished yesterday, I believe. The news will be here. It'll be the back page of this thing. No, it's not the back page, but the sumo news will be here. But I don't follow it. I'm sorry. I can't bring you any hints or talk about sumo. Someone's asked me, is it rigged? Do they dive? I don't know. I'm not the guy to talk to. I'm sorry. Cameron's here. He's mailbox. I saw his mailbox this morning. There's this deal, you know, people that decide to take a day off work or something. That's cool. You have a nice fun day off when you come back. Cameron is inundated right now. Absolutely inundated. Well, we all are, but the Cameron is completely inundated. If there's anybody out there who's like been ordering prints or stuff like that, go easy with the emails because we are inundated. You know. Everything's getting done. We're doing the work. We're processing things. Things are getting processed. Things are getting shipped. But we are inundated. So, okay. Settle down, Dave. Let's do a bit of carving and then talk to the people in the chat here. Cameron's just come in and he doesn't understand what you're talking about. Is it pre-recorded and stuff? Because Cameron had no idea what I just did or what I was about to do unless he was watching it quietly. I don't know. So you might have to update him on that. And boy, oh boy, am I enjoying this now with this tracing. I really now regret the way I approached this print. Dave here's thinking Top Gun stuff to show, you know, tracing. Who needs tracing? I can close my eyes and do this stuff. And I did it, you know, I carved this print with a really blurred, I don't know, hunched up. But now that I can see the pleasure and sharpness of doing it this way with the tracing, I regret doing it that way. I should have spent the time on it. But, it's easy to say, but it would have taken around a week or so. And there just isn't. I'm already now up against my deadline. This print is due August 1st. It's now, I don't want to look at the date, it's July something. It's due August 1st. The girls upstairs long ago gave up on me. They've all moved on to other projects, of course. And they're not upset at me because they know the situation. They're not angry. They know how this is going. But they do know that when I'm ready with this a few days from now, I'm going to go running upstairs and saying, drop everything and do this. And they're ready for that. We have the refrigerator, the freezer standing by. And I'll keep them in touch. The paper for this is ready upstairs. I did the sizing on it already. The paper is standing by. And the day before I'm ready, I'll tell them what's going on, and they will get some paper ready for this, moistened. And they are standing by. But they really, they really don't like the idea of having to do it under a deadline, which is what it's going to become. It's going to be like, as soon as I get the block upstairs, it's like, okay, I want this print finished, and I want this finished tonight. So it's unfortunate. It doesn't happen very often, you know. We've been doing subscriptions now. Well, I've been doing them for 30 years, more, and the staff here has been doing it for, when did we start the first subscription? 2013, should be Heroes. So we know what deadlines are about, and normally we are pretty good at getting the work done in advance of the deadline. But this month now, I'm the guy who has spoiled it. So we've got these two words, you know, the reason and the excuse. I have no excuse for this. I should have figured out a better way to do it. The reason is we are too busy, but that's a reason. It's not an excuse. But wow, it's so nice. Must be better for you guys to see. You can see the lines I'm carving to show. Is it visible now? Put the outside mic off, hang on a sec. It's not police, it's the ambulance, not police. The police have a different siren. This is the ambulance siren. Could be any, you tell me. It could be heat stroke, it could be an elderly person, or just a normal accident, no idea. I know joining this old part and the new part, I know I was lucky in one sense, and that there were no lines running between the two. This is all like loose hair. So the other day, preparing for this, I separated, the leg is here. I carved the leg and I left the face. And there's really no places where it joins except right here, this one. Right here is where there's a joint. Some leg hair bumps into the face here. And I'm going to have to be careful there. But there's no single line that crosses from one to the other. So I can get away with this, What's the joy? Cameron's dropping somebody off at school. Yeah, he takes his son to school, to pre-daycare or whatever. Left his motor running. Let's kill the audio from outside, Tisho. I should go out there. This is the guy who leaves the engine on, I should go out there and point at the camera and say, "We're watching you." I don't think I'm going to do that, but, Here in Japan, the thing is called, I don't know, the current campaign that's on to try and stop this behavior, it's in English, it's called Idling Stop. Idling Stop. And it's written on trucks. It's probably written on the back of that one. There's stickers provided by their government, whatever. The idea is that whenever trucks are making deliveries, or even when trucks are stopped at long traffic lights and things like that, they want them to turn off. And the campaign is called Idling Stop. And this guy doesn't care, obviously. So. If I was feeling a little bit more obstreperous, I'd just quietly go out there and say, すみません、お願いしますが、排気ガスがちょっと、your exhaust is coming into my shop. Please turn it off. And he would if I asked him, but it's just that extra level of what I absolutely would not do and could never do is, like, if I went out there to that guy and said, please turn off your engine, the other driver turns it off, boy, that's trouble. I have now created a potential for big trouble over at the other end at their company or something. So we would never ever try saying anything like this, But I could, it's socially acceptable if I'd gone out there and said, please turn it off, the gas. That's totally okay. There's no barrier there to me doing that. It's not like you're threatening a yakuza guy, you're going to get punched out or something. Nothing like that. It would have been totally okay for me to quietly go out there and politely ask, please turn it off. Excuse me. Now that I can see this thing clearly, the actual carving goes way, way quicker. You know, I don't have to keep referring back to the reference sheet. Just sit here, go bang, 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 bang. The idea today is to try and get this thing done. That's not going to happen because today's a Monday. And Mondays always, 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 they're full of just distractions. There's going to be 2 staff members here. They theoretically have their own work to do. But always when there are other staff members in the building, I get, whatever. The last 2 days for me have been wonderful. Nobody's been here. I've been completely alone for 2 days, and I got a ton of stuff done. So there'll be those distractions too, plus the normal Monday distractions and all the things that stacked up over the weekend that didn't get done will need answering or doing or taking care of on Monday. But then on top of that, and I don't know what to do, and it's going to impact the Twitch stream here, as you saw from that link I posted a few minutes ago about the tracking. There's a package arriving here tonight. And I don't know what to do. I know what I want to do. I know what some people are expecting me to do. I want to make a really nice video about it. I do. But I also know that the stream here is expecting to be part of that. So I'm not sure what to do here. UPS has a partnership with Black Cat. Yes, I know. So we don't see UPS trucks here. There are no UPS trucks in Tokyo, to my knowledge. Everything comes from Black Cat, from Yamato. Questions. I'm not sure. Someone's asking, was I a distracted schoolboy? I don't know. I was not a good student, period. I was not a good student. My mother has a bunch of my report cards from school. They're all preserved, and they show pretty much sort of a straight line. My earliest report cards from grade 1 and stuff in Edmonton, they're a bit misleading because we moved to Edmonton just when I was within months of becoming 6 years old. So they put me in grade 1, but actually I had already had nearly 3 years of education in Britain, so I could, read and write already. But they put me in grade 1, so So the first report cards show A+, AAA, A+, perfect. Actually, they were H's at that time in Edmonton. They had H, A, B, C, D, blah, blah. So my earliest report cards, grade 1 or whatever, show absolute top perfect marks. By the time I got out of high school, grade 12, it was P, just bare minimum of effort just to get out the door or whatever. So I don't know. I can't see myself. I don't see myself. I don't know. I suspect it was the sort of a classical situation. You've got a quote smart kid who is probably a quote smart ass kid. Doesn't want to be there. Troublesome for the teachers, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a delinquent. Never. I was too much of a nice boy for that. But the school system, absolutely, they had a rubber stamp. This is not true, but I mean, in essence, it's true. They had a rubber stamp. This boy is not performing to his ability. Or what was the phrase they used to use? Not performing to the level of which he is capable, or something like this. I can't remember what it said, but it was there every freaking report card for the last. David is not performing to the level of which he is capable, or something like that. I don't know. When I think about that now, looking back on it now, it seems so obvious that phrase, that's not an indictment of the child. That phrase is an indictment of the system that he's in. The kid's not expected to develop a curriculum or to decide what to do. A kid is a kid. He does what he's told. When you've got that phrase, not performing at the level of which he's capable. Performing means I did what they told me to do, Anyway, whatever. I'm going to get in trouble a bit of this face because some of these hairs, now that they are super finely clear and detailed, I have to carve them. And the wood we're using is not really capable of this level of detail. Where have we heard that sound before? Are there two different drivers for the blue garbage truck? One guy that grinds the gears and one guy that doesn't grind the gears? Is it that setup? Is there two different people? So we're carving really a little bit finer than should be carved because this is not a very hard piece of wood. And I may regret this later on. No idea. This group like this, where am I? Just carved just now. Some of those are too thin for this wood. It would be nice if it was boxwood, that's fine, but this wood is not going to survive for long. So I don't know. Come on, guy, finish your garbage. God, they go through a lot of it. That's one little shop, you know. How many loads has he thrown into his hopper there? That's one little hole-in-the-wall shop. And it's funny because most of the customers there, they get their stuff, they get their hot dog or their box of chicken or whatever, and they go away. So the garbage here, what is this garbage that's left? I mean, there is a garbage container in front of the shop. Some people eat their stuff standing there and then throw their garbage into that container. So that's what this is, plus the shop garbage. But most people walk away. They toss the crap somewhere else. So the volume of garbage, insane volume of garbage from those guys. Most of it's not plastic, most of it's paper. The things that they sell their hot dogs in for people to walk around is a folded little paper thing, little cardboard thing. So we're not talking about mountains of plastic, but whoosh, 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 whoosh. Where are we? Have I noticed a spike in tourism? I can't say tourism, but there's lots more foreigners. In fact, yesterday there was lots of foreigners walking back and forth along the street here. And for the first time in a long, long, long time, there were a couple of people walking down the street pulling luggage. So I guess this is something to do with the Olympic thing. I don't know. I presume so. There's no normal tourism. I checked last night the hotel before I went to bed myself. I looked across at the hotel, and there's, what is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 11 rooms visible. 3 or 4 of them had lights. So the hotel is certainly not full, but there are visitors here. There was a funny one yesterday. I was sitting here carving. I carved here most of the afternoon. The shop lights are off. The front door was closed. It was too hot outside. And I'm just sitting here by myself, hunched over my bench. You know, the shop looks closed from outside. It looks completely dark inside. And a bunch of guys, young guys, they'd be 18, 20, 22, and their accents, they're American men. And the shutter is open. It's permanently open outside. And they saw the posters outside, the Star Fox poster and the Mario poster. And they didn't recognize that it was a print shop or anything. Just they saw the poster and, hey, cool, look at this. And they're all, hey, is that Slippy? Yeah, Falcon barrel roll. And they're like enjoying the poster, you know. I thought, wow, this is, you know, okay. I'd like to just at least say hello to these guys, you know. But there's this thing when people are outside your shop looking at something. It's like the used car lot. You're looking at a used car there. You're just walking by. You didn't come shopping. You're looking at a used car. You stop and look at the used car, and then click, click, out from the office comes the salesman, comes running towards you, and you think, oh, fuck, just leave me alone. I just want to look at this thing, you know. So for me to open the door and go out and talk to them, it's like, here comes the salesman to look at the stuff. You know, I don't want to do that. But I want to chat with these guys, see what's going on. What are you doing in Tokyo? This kind of stuff, you know. So I got down from my desk, cracked open the door, and tried to smile and do a non-threatening, I'm not trying to tell you anything kind of a vibe. And 3 of them instantly, man, they broke ranks and walked away, you know. And before they could move the other guys, I'm like, hey, you're enjoying the posters, you know. We're closed, we don't sell stuff, but you're enjoying the posters, you know, to try and diffuse it and just get it to where they would chat. And the 3 of the guys did stop and chatted for a minute, you know. And they hadn't seen this stuff before. And this is interesting for me. Here they are, these 6 young American guys. As I said, age, they would be, I don't know, as I said, 18, 20, something like that, whatever. It turns out they're military guys. So I asked him, "Are you Olympics? You're here from the Olympics?" He said, No. We've just been posted. We just arrived last week. We're based one of the bases. These are 6 guys who just flew into Japan last week at one of the bases, and now they're wandering around Tokyo. They didn't have masks, but when I started talking to him, he pulls a mask out of his pocket, put it in on his face to talk to me, So, but the takeaway from the story, I realized this. They were looking at these posters, the poster of our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints, the rickshaw cart print, and the Star Fox print, and they had never seen this stuff. We made the rickshaw cart print in 2012, so we're looking at now 9, 10 years ago. And these guys must be, as I said, 18. So I realized there's got to be now completely a whole generation of people, whatever, that know nothing about all those prints that we made over the years, A complete new generation who never saw those Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. I know nothing about the military rules. Are they vaccinated or not? Or are they allowed to come out or not? Are these guys breaking quarantine? Are they okay? I don't know anything about it. I didn't chat him about that. But we have Andy, right? She's on here sometimes today or not. I don't know. She had to quarantine. Are you saying video games have a short lifetime? We're talking about Star Fox, Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda. We're not talking about stuff that has a short memory here, a short lifetime here. So here, somebody's 22, found Dave's videos about 3 years ago. No, this is not new to us because this happens all the time. People see these things. So last year, 2 years ago, when we did have a shop and had this, we had this every day. People walking down the street. And they came in and talked. And so I learned this before. This is not new to me. There are many people out there who have never seen that stuff. And for us, having made prints with those game character themes, this is going to be, for us, the gift that keeps on giving long, long, long after I'm gone. Absolutely. This thing we did with Jed is going to be, it's a big deal. It was a big deal, Maybe bigger than I can understand, I guess. I don't know. We still have the blocks. We still print from them. We don't sell the Ukiyo-e Heroes prints in our shop. It's all through Jed's website. And these days, Jed's website, he promotes other stuff. He does his more modern prints, So these days, the Ukiyo-e Heroes prints are a little bit sleeping. They hugely helped our business back in 2012 and through the middle teens. And they're still a part of our business, but it's not our main work anymore. We are now a publisher of subscription prints. That's our main job here at Mokuhankan. And that Kickstarter did exactly what it was supposed to do. We set it up, and it said so on the front page of the Kickstarter to help, preserve and give a new boot to the Japanese woodblock print tradition. And that's exactly what it did. Not just to us, but to workshops all over the place. Jed's a hero, an absolute hero. Hopefully at some point, and it'll take quite a while, many decades from now, some researchers, some historians, when they're figuring all this out, they will credit Jed, hopefully, for what he did. He rebooted and revitalized this 300-year-old tradition. It seems like a no-brainer. Use the old tradition, but use pop culture imagery. But hopefully nobody else had done it. There had been attempts to make modern prints with the old technology, but those people were all trying to make limited edition modern art. And of course it never took off. They exist, but it never took off. but by using pop culture imagery with no limited editions. That's the key. That was what Jed and I brought to it. How's our time here? We're okay? Yeah, you're good. We do have a show and tell today. Show and tell today also is going to be a bit different. I know some of you might have recognized the show and tell in the past few weeks has been a bit, what's the word? It's been a bit stop and start and stop and start. There's a couple of reasons for it. One is my salary all of last year was severely reduced because of the pandemic. And the stuff we show in show and tell is not usually stuff that the shop is buying. The stuff from show and tell has been things that Dave has been buying himself for the collection. But because my salary was so constrained over the past year, it meant the amount of stuff that I could buy has been a decrease. So as things came in, we showed them. But, and even right now, I haven't bought anything for the collection now for, no idea how many months. So that source of new material for the show and tell has been cut off for a while. And then mixed in with that, I used to go out to Ome every now and then, bring stuff back from the shelves over there, and we used to show those, mix and match. But recently I haven't been going to Ome, and I also haven't been buying. So it's cut back a little bit on the amount of new things that are flowing in here to show on the show and tell. So what I did today was, for today's show and tell, I went upstairs to the collection room, and I looked at it and said, what are the things that we haven't taken downstairs to show to the people on the Twitch stream? And so far, what I've been showing you on the Twitch stream is something that I can see as a unified. There's a book. We will look at this book, bang, and do it. Or there is this print set has come in. We will look at this print set. But the collection upstairs also has actually a whole bunch of, what am I going to say here? A whole bunch of, random items. Over the years, I'm in a print shop. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. That's nice. And we pick that up. But it's not part of a set. It's not a book. It's just one single little, perhaps a very cheap, such and such little print. And of course, in the collection, there are many such objects. And what I'm doing with them when we're sorting this out is, rather than keep them in file folders, we just put them into clear files. And the idea is that at some point, we will try and document and figure out what these things are and look more carefully at them and blah, 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 blah. So, long story short, there are a bunch of folders here which just have, it's just a bunch of old junk, whatever. There's a bunch of old interesting prints with no specific, oh my God, look at this special glorious stuff. This should be shown to the world, to everybody. It's not stuff of that category. It's just interesting old woodblock prints that Dave thought, look at that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. And we have, as I said, a whole bunch of these. So what we're going to try and do today, I've pulled one of those folders down with me here, got it by the bench here. And we're just going to look through and see what we can see. And it's sort of, you're going to see the same thing that I had, the experience I had. I'm flipping through prints in an old print shop or on an auction. The page turns, I see this, and I think I'd like that for the collection. So today we'll look at those and we'll think about the why. Why did Dave look at that one instead of flipping the page? Why has this become part of the collection? Stuff like this. So it's going to be a real random grab bag today. It's a tongue to show. No, it's not a tongue. It's his chin. I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. Is that a tongue or is it a chin? The dot, dot, dots. There's lots of dot, dot, dots up here. This is not tongue. This is his upper lip where the whiskers come out. But we have the same dotted pattern replicated down here. If this was his chin, would there be whiskers coming out of it? We're inside the teeth here. I think it's got to be a tongue. It's got to be a tongue. It's inside. It's between the teeth and the upper lip. It's got to be a tongue. Yeah, I get it. I get it. And he's licking his paw. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get it. It makes sense. There's his paw. He's licking his paw. Okay. Okay. Pretty much settled, I think. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll accept this. So. I hear faint music in the background, and I think it could be over the past couple of days, Saturday and Sunday. Here it's been really, really crowded in Asakusa because of the good weather and because of the events that are happening. And there's been a Chindonya band running around town for the past few days. And I hear a little bit of music in the background right now, down the street somewhere. And it could be, it's 9 o'clock now, which might be their starting time. And it could possibly be lucky that we would get a visit down the street here today from a Chindonya band. We'll see. I don't know. You'll know it if it comes. Believe me, you'll know it if it gets here. There isn't too much of that stuff left nowadays, but every now and again, some company in Asakusa here who's trying to promote something new, they've got an event, they hire the Chindonya to promote it. And this has been going on since Edo time, absolutely. There must be lots of YouTube. If you're not sure what a Chindonya is, you want to hear some, just Google it on YouTube, and there's lots of it around, I'm sure. You know. Every time these people come down the street, any tourists grab their camera and quickly shoot it. You know. forgot to focus back in, zoom back in. Oops, come on, you can do it, Hey. What's the time? 9:11. Okay, one more. 9:11. One more little run here, then we'll do some show and tell. It is so hot. I am stuck. My shirt is stuck all the way back. There's sweat dripping down the backside. As soon as we're off the stream here, I am going to head for the tap. I need water. I haven't been for a nice walk now in a couple of weeks. It's just impossible. The only real chance for a walk would be late at night, or super early morning or something. There's no way I can get out there. To me, compared to where I grew up, I grew up in not northern Canada. That's the wrong approach. Well, I lived in Edmonton for 7 or 8 years. And Edmonton in Canada, I think it's, I don't know, latitude 50, 57 or somewhere like that. I don't know, whatever, I was really surprised when I came to Tokyo. I hadn't realized. I had an image, as a Canadian, I had an image of Japan as being sort of at the same latitude or whatever. And maybe Hokkaido is, I don't know. But here in Tokyo, we're way farther south. So for me as a Canadian from the northern part of Alberta, or the central part of Alberta, this is tropical. Absolutely tropical. Edmonton must be 57 something, and Tokyo is mid-30s, I guess. I don't know. So I go outside, I did this yesterday, I tried to get a sandwich for lunch. I was going to go down to Skiroku, the sandwich shop at the end of the street here. And I went outside and it's sunny, and I look up a bit, look around, there's no sun. I can't even see, where's the sun? Yet it's all sunny. And it turns out the sun is like straight up, There's basically no shadow, and it's so freaking hot, It can't be straight up, I guess. What are we? We're at 57, and the Earth is tilted 23 or something. I don't know. But it seems just basically straight up in the air. It's also funny, for the first time in this print, or almost the first time, we're carving like recognizable stuff. These lines have meaning, Before it was just all these dots and things and funny fuzzy fur and shapes, Now this is an actual meaningful line, so I've got to be careful, If you twist it or shape it differently too much, the object looks strange, Back in the middle of all that fuzzy hair, it really didn't matter. No human being is ever going to see what you do. It's the overall effect. But here, in a face, this is now different, which is why I traced it, because I want to get accuracy, neat, clean, sharp. The other advantage to having traced it is that I'm now coming through this for the second time. I traced this late last week, so I've seen these lines before. I came through here, all these dots and lines that you see now here, these are lines that I drew, that I traced. So been here before, I know where I am, I'm comfortable now. Okay, oh, we've overrun. Let's put this away. Okay, so as I said, today's show and tell is going to be a little bit of a grab bag. Let's put this down a bit for a sec. So upstairs, the collection, we've got folders and folders and folders. This is one of the books I brought from Ome. It's not organized yet. It's just marked miscellaneous stuff. This is a real, complete, utter, absolute grab bag. Most of the collection upstairs is properly organized, is properly sorted. The sets are all put together. The Meiji era prints are in a set of files. Everything else is organized. And then we have books like this, which are just, you name it, whatever goes. It's all a bunch of random stuff. Some of this I know what it is. I'll be able to explain. Some of it I really can't explain very well. We'll just sort of have a look at it together. First up is this. And number one question, how old is this? I don't know. This is old, actually. This is old. I mean, this is not 20th century. This could be late Edo or early mid-Meiji. It's no later than that. It's a partially finished print. I'm missing the conversation here, but whatever. You're talking about show and tell. Okay. Hey. Sometimes in the old days, they make actor prints. They made them in groups. You would make a group of prints as one thing, and then later on you would chop it apart and sell them separately. That, I think, is not what we are looking at here. We have a group of actor prints, but because the design overlaps back and forth, I don't think they were intended to be chopped in groups of 3 to be sold. I think it was sold as a triptych here. Who designed this? I don't have a clue. Who are the actors? I don't have a clue. There's been no time to do any research on this whatsoever. All we have is an interesting scrap of a partly finished print. And actually, the best way to tell the age of this would be to do the kabuki research. Look up the names. The names of the actors are here, and or the roles, and looking up those would tell us when these 3 dudes were on the stage and what is going on. And that would give us a real good sharp guide to when this print was made. I haven't done that research. I have no knowledge of these things. My number one question is, why did they toss this sheet aside? Why did they not finish printing it? Because there's no way, if you're a printer back in the old days, or even if you're a printer now, Suga-san upstairs, she's going through her batch of prints. If she makes a mistake and slips and gets the registration wrong on one of them, she finishes printing it and she slips it into the stack to continue with the rest. It's so important to us to keep the rhythm going, to keep the stack in place, to keep the moisture balanced. That's way more important to us than the slight, tiny waste of time it would be by having a defective print stay in the stack. And I actually can't see anything here that would have caused the printer to decide not to continue with this sheet. I have no idea. Summon flyfish, the gray key. This is key to the whole thing. This is really nice for us to be able to see this. I talk about this endlessly. The key blocks weren't black. The key blocks were, for the most part, through the Edo era, the key blocks were gray. If I had my guess, I think this is from Osaka. It's only a guess. It's also not a top-level job. The carving here is really not all that well done. Nothing to write home about. So perhaps this is some kind of amateur production? Not likely. Hontoni not likely. I don't know. Training wheels? I have no idea. But even for training, you wouldn't just stop partway through. You'd run to the end, you know. So I don't know. Questions, lots of questions, very few answers. What's next? Oh, these are fun. How many have I got? I've got 2 of them. These are 2 prints from what would have been a large set of at least 12 and perhaps 24 and perhaps 36. I don't know. These are known items. These are out there. Back in the Meiji era, some publishers produced vast numbers of prints of a similar type to this. This particular one is historical figures, historical women, I guess. I've only got 2 of them and they're both women historical episodes. Perhaps there's men involved in this set as well, I don't know. Or perhaps it's a set of historical women. This publisher mostly did things like sets of old Chinese landscapes or birds and flowers or etc., warriors. This particular set is something to do with notable women of the past. And again, now there's no research here. These are just items from our little box here. So who this particular notable woman is, I don't know. To me, this looks a bit more Chinese. These decorations are not Japanese. These decorations are Chinese. And even the way the kimono is prepared, the dress is prepared, it looks to me something more Chinese. So it's either from an era in Japan, way in the past when the Asian influence was stronger, or this is a notable woman from Asia rather than just from Japan. I don't know. And we have a date. Meiji 26 is when this set was done. Meiji 26. We have white pigment used here. This is not the white of the paper. The paper is this color. This is white pigment used. The other one is kind of fun because what they've done is the episode or whatever that's being depicted here is a woman with some kind of a shiny stone or stele. And this is her reflection. We are looking at a woman. This is now much more Japanese than Chinese. This is clearly Japanese. And we're looking at the woman, looking at her reflection. This is not 2 people. This is her reflection in the shiny, polished surface of this stone. These were so cheap, you know. These sets were published dirt cheap. For the scale, where's my thumb? Where's my finger? Here's the scale here. Has the guy got his geometry right for the reflection? I don't know. I'm not going to quibble on that point. It's really difficult to figure out what a reflection would look like, you know. Is her head angle the same? I don't know. Don't know, don't care. Beautifully done. And we have the Meiji era again. This is the Meiji era, and we have the standard Meiji era type scratch carving on the blocks and foliage. And everything is what's the word? The purple is lavender, the black is gray, the red has become orange to make it look like a reflection. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. We have 2 copies of this one, actually. You can see the white pigments to show. Look at that. So I'm just asking, how do they make such fine lines? They make fine lines the way you just saw me doing it, except with, maybe more skill. Okay, this is perhaps going to be as far as we're going to get through this book today, because this one in itself, I could talk for an hour on this one. In fact, I did. If you're one of the rare people in the world who've got the first David's Choice ebook, I put this print in that ebook years and years and years ago. Let's try and get this at an angle we can see it. This is unlabeled, but it is clearly a production from the Hasegawa Company. The company that made the Chirimen books, the fairy tale books, stuff like this. This is a single print. It's not marked as a calendar, it's not part of a book, it's not part of anything, but we know it's Hasegawa because the same block does appear in other use as a calendar print. And I probably say this too often, but if there's a fire here and I can only grab one item, this is one of the reasons why I would die in the fire, because I would be going back and forth. No, it's got to be this one. No, it's got to be that one. No, it's got to be this one. And I would die from smoke inhalation. I don't even know where to start. Where to start? Gradation on her hat. Why did we do a gradation on her hat? Do we need this? There's gradations on the freaking trees in the background, which nobody would ever see. How close can we get? Again, my finger for size. We think we're good at this, but we're nothing on these guys. We're absolutely nothing. And it's not just because it's small. We've talked about this again and again and again. Look at the every single line. You can catch the brush stroke. They could have just carved the bamboo up and chop it, and there it goes. It looked like a bamboo. But no, every single line that makes up this bamboo, the top line there, the little circle around it, everyone has caught the full, total character of the brush strokes. Look at this. Just this little coil of string here. That's a work of art just by itself. You want to know what it takes to carve that? I can't do that. Nobody alive can do this. Did the customers understand? Did they know? Every single stroke you see here is carved as though you can see the full richness of the brush. Every dot. Folks, I talked about this, Every dot, every line is alive. It's beyond belief that this was done by human beings with a scrap of wood and a knife. But I'm here to tell you, this is actually how it was done. I'm afraid when me and the people who follow me are gone, other future generations will look at this and will just think, oh yeah, whatever, machines, this is when printing presses were coming. Ain't no machine involved in this whatsoever. It's a designer on thin paper, pasting it down on a block of wood, a carver doing exactly what you saw me doing a few minutes ago, passing it over to the printers. You've seen me do the printing. No machines, no technology, nothing. All working within a tiny little one mat space in a room. There's 2 blocks for her face, There's a light skin tone and a darker skin tone. The other woman's face, I believe, yes, she's got makeup. Maybe a tiny bit too much makeup, whatever, but it's there. There's a pink, there's a block carved for her skin tone, her pink tone, and a gradation applied to it. And I just did dig deep into the flowers. How many levels of green? It's birds, so they look realistic. You know, we're not talking cats and dogs here. These guys could do birds. The wood, it's two-tone, three-tone. There's the key block lines, there's darker shadow lines, and there's lighter shadow lines. You can see whatever, let me find where I am here. There's lighter shadow lines against each of the main, and then there's darker shadow lines. So it's at least 3 blocks plus a base tone for the wood. The delicate, delicate green. Just whatever. As I said, there's a knife. That's her knife for chopping the leaves, the silkworm leaves. They've even put an edge on the knife, and they've put texture in the steel. The steel has texture on the blade. Why did they do this? I have a vague memory of the day I found this. It would be Yamada Shoten, one of the shops in Jimbocho. And they've got, these days they don't really do it so much, but they would have had they've got a, what's it called, a junk box. I know, a box sort of just like this folder. A bunch of these things in this folder would have come exactly from Yamada Shoten's junk box. And I go in there. I mean, there were days when there was one day when I did that. I was browsing in there, and a guy brought a folder of prints out. I've told this before. He brought a box out, put it in the counter, and I looked inside, and it was a bunch of Taisho Iwa reproductions that I had wanted. And he put the box down. I looked at it, and I picked up the box and took it back to the counter and said, I'm taking this home. Pulled out my credit card, and away we went home, you know. It doesn't exist anymore. The internet has destroyed that kind of shopping. It's destroyed that kind of place, you know. They would get these things because people would come up the stairs. They did what's called kai tori, and the big sign was downstairs. If you have old things in your home that look like old books or woodblock prints, bring them here. We'll pay top money for them. And whatever, called kai tori. That's all gone now. If a young person at home now finds something in a drawer looks like Granddad, up it goes on Yahoo auctions, where now and then people like me do get a chance to grab it. But those shops were just treasure troves, treasure troves. I didn't go every day. I'd go down there once or twice a year and come back with a bunch of things like this. And all the other 360 days I didn't go there, somebody else got these things, you know. I can't regret what I missed. We've got lots here. This has got to go in the collection. I mean, it is in the collection, but it hasn't been photographed. But at some point along the line, it's going to get photographed. It just never ends. You go on, like here, above her head here, part of the architecture, there's the frames and there's the room. And at the top here is the carver and painter. They put a few dots in. There's also a gradation block from here going up. There's a darker gray tint here than there is here. It's at what point do these guys give up? If I'm the publisher, I've got to make a living. I've got to, every one of these printings takes time. There's a glow in the sky. Can you see it? They've done an extra gradation for a glow in the sky behind the village. I don't know if it's going to show it so faint. There's an orange gradation here in the sky behind that person in the fields. It just doesn't stop coming at you. One, that's all you need. You don't need a whole bunch of 100 prints. All you need is one. One nicely made, beautiful woodblock print from Hasegawa. Pay enough, whatever. I'll keep the book on the table here. Next show and tell, we're going to look at some more. We'll have a look at a few more, because the book, it's just every page here, just every page. This is what I've brought to this field. Over 35 years of browsing in the shops and saying, oh, let's take a look at this one. This is what I bring to this field, you know. Have I tried to count blocks? No. I'm already 70 years old. I don't have enough time left in life to count the blocks on this one. I don't know. Hasegawa. His name will live forever because of because of what he did. Okay, enough. I'm out of here. Okay, now, a warning, as I said. Today's Monday. The next stream is going to be Thursday morning. There's a package scheduled for delivery tonight. It's the YouTube Silver Play button. I know everybody here wants me to open it on stream, but I really, really, really would like, and we've started some planning, I really would like to make a very special video about that one for the YouTube channel. So, here's Aoyama-san. Good morning, good morning. Domo, domo. So I'm going to do that. We are going to use the package for making a special video. And all I can say for the Twitch streamers here is whatever. I can maybe give you a small preview of that video, or I can get some green tape out and we can have a playback or something with green tape. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, go easy on me because we want to do that. But for right now, it's Monday. I will see you 3 days from now on Thursday with more tiger carving. Maybe we'll be on the color blocks by then. I don't know. We'll see. No promises. We'll see what happens. Thanks for coming. See you on Thursday. Should I close with Hasegawa or close with the street outside? Let's put the street outside up. Away we go. Thanks again, gang. See you in a couple of days. Bye for now. See you then. I heard the footsteps coming. Nice way to end the stream. See you next time.